I don't even know how to start this without sounding dramatic, but this week just felt like one of those classic Red Sox moments, you know? The kind where you're excited, you're hopeful, you're looking ahead to opening day, and then suddenly you're arguing about something you never thought you'd have to argue about. And at the exact same time, there's this other situation brewing that could quietly change the direction of this roster in a big way. It's wild how two completely different stories can hit at once and somehow feel connected. One of them is about identity, about what it means to wear Red Sox across your chest at Fenway. The other? That's about value. About whether this front office truly understands what they have, and what they shouldn't even think about giving away. As fans, we care about this stuff more than people think. It's not just fabric. It's not just trade rumors. It's pride. It's the future. It's whether this team is actually building something real for 2026 or just reacting to noise. Something happened this week that forced the organization to respond publicly, and something else surfaced that honestly should make every one of us stop and think about how this roster is being viewed nationally. We're going to break both of these down because neither one is small, even if they look that way at first glance. But before we get into it, if you're a real Red Sox fan who rides with this team through the chaos, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to Red Sox Today. This channel is brand new. We're trying to hit our first 1,000 subscribers, and this is for fans who actually care. All right, let's start with the first situation, because this one caught all of us off guard. The Red Sox officially admitted they messed up the home white jerseys for 2026. Yeah, the home whites. And if you saw the photos from Media Day down in Florida before spring training, you probably felt it immediately. Something looked off. It wasn't dramatic at first glance, but once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. The Red Sox lettering across the chest was sitting way too close to the piping that runs down along the buttons. The D and the S practically ran over the piping. In previous seasons, there was clear separation, clean spacing, classic look, balanced. This year, it felt cramped, tight, almost rushed. Fans noticed instantly. People were posting side-by-side comparisons. Corey Brinson even wrote on X that the lettering was so bad, pointing out that they went back to the old template with wider spaced piping but kept last year's lettering layout. And honestly, he wasn't wrong. Now here's where it gets interesting. The team released a statement, actually deleted an earlier one and then posted a more detailed explanation, saying that as part of Major League Baseball's return to the 2023 jersey template, they had approved the design. Fanatics executed it exactly to their specifications. Once the jerseys were produced and seen in person, they realized there needed to be more spacing between the lettering and the piping. And this is important. They made it clear. Fanatics deserves no blame. The Red Sox admitted the original design was selected by them. Fanatics followed instructions. They called Fanatics an outstanding partner and thanked them for getting the tweaked jerseys ready in time for opening day. That matters. Because we've all seen the league-wide uniform complaints the past couple years. It would have been easy to throw the manufacturer under the bus. They didn't do that. They owned it. And look, some people might say, it's just a jersey. But if you're a Red Sox fan, you know that's not true. The home whites are sacred. That uniform is history. It's Ted Williams. It's David Ortiz. It's Dustin Pedroia diving into first. It's championships. You don't mess with the spacing of Red Sox across the chest and expect people not to react. What I will say, though, is this. I actually respect that they corrected it before opening day. They listened. They saw the backlash. They didn't double down. They didn't gaslight fans into thinking we were crazy. They said, yeah, this needs fixing. And they fixed it. That's how it should work. But while we're talking about value, perception, and getting things right before the season starts, there's another situation out there that honestly bothers me way more than jersey spacing. Because this one isn't about aesthetics. It's about how one of our core young players is being valued nationally, and whether people outside Boston truly understand what this roster has. And trust me, when you hear the proposal that was floated, you're going to have feelings about it. Let's get into that next. Now let's talk about the second situation, because this one actually made me shake my head. ESPN's Dave Schoenfield put out one of those MLB trade proposals that could shake up spring training articles. You know the type: mock trades, hypotheticals, ideas to stir conversation, and in his proposal, a straight swap between the Red Sox and the Mets. Wilyer Abreu for Brett Baty, 1-for-1. And I'm sorry, I know it's just a mock trade. But if you're telling me that's equal value, we're not watching the same games. Let's break this down properly. First, context. All offseason, there were rumors swirling about Boston potentially moving one of their outfielders. Jarren Duran's name came up. Chidane Rafaela's name came up. Wilyer Abreu's name came up. With the outfield depth and the front office looking to balance the roster, people speculated they could flip one to upgrade the infield. And yes, the front office tried to address the infield after losing Alex Bregman. They brought in Wilson Contreras and Caleb Durbin as part of that effort. We still have to see how that plays out. Nothing is guaranteed. But clearly, upgrading or stabilizing the infield has been a priority. So Schoenfield suggests using Abreu to do that, sending him to the Mets for Brett Baty. Now, to be fair, Baty isn't some random throw-in. He's 26 years old. He hits from the left side. He offers positional versatility, which Craig Breslow has shown he values. Last season, he split about 60-40 between third base and second base. Defensively, he was basically net neutral overall between the two spots. He put up a 3.1 BWAR season. On paper, that's a solid player. But here's the problem. He's not Wilyer Abreu. Abreu is 24. He missed time last season due to injury, and even with that, in just 115 games, he posted career highs, 22 home runs, 69 RBIs, and a 786 OPS. That's real production. That's impact bat production. And then there's the defense. Back-to-back Gold Gloves in right field at Fenway Park. Do we understand how hard that is? Fenway's right field is not some standard cookie-cutter corner. It's awkward angles. It's tricky caroms. It's deep. And Abreu patrols it like it's nothing. Last season, he was +8 in outs above average. That tied him for second best among right fielders in all of Major League Baseball, tied with Fernando Tatis Jr., 1 behind Corbin Carroll, 4 better than the next best player in the American League. Over the last 2 seasons, +15 OAA, tied for best in baseball. That's elite. Not good. Not promising. Elite. Now, compare that to Baty. Over the last 2 seasons at third base, he's +4. Solid but not special. At second base last year, in his first major league action there, he was -1 OAA. And keep in mind, the Red Sox want Marcelo Mayer playing third base long-term. So Baty wouldn't even necessarily be locking down his best defensive position here. And remember, Baty hits left-handed. So does Abreu. So does David Hamilton, who is no longer on the team partly because that left-handed bat at second base didn't provide enough defensive upside. You're not gaining lineup balance with this move. And here's the other massive piece that people gloss over: control. Abreu has 4 years of team control remaining. 4. That matters. That's flexibility. That's cost control. That's roster stability while you build around young core players. So when I see a straight-up one-for-one proposal like that, I don't see interesting idea. I see undervaluation. Thankfully, and this is important, trading Abreu was never part of Boston's actual off-season plans. This wasn't something the front office was actively shopping. It was an outside mock, and honestly, that explains why it never gained real traction. If the Red Sox move one of their outfielders, and eventually, yes, someone might become a casualty of that depth, it cannot be for equal-ish value. It has to be a haul. It has to clearly upgrade something major. You don't trade a 24-year-old Gold Glove right fielder with power and 4 years of control for a maybe he fits infield piece. That shouldn't even cross Breslow's mind. And this is where both of these stories connect in a weird way. The jersey situation showed the organization listening, correcting, protecting the identity of the team. The Abreu mock trade? That shows how people outside Boston still don't fully grasp what this team actually has. One story is about presentation. The other is about perception. Together, they tell you something about where the Red Sox stand right now. This is a team trying to reestablish identity, visually, culturally, and competitively. They're protecting tradition. They're protecting assets. And honestly, that's encouraging. Is everything perfect? No. We still need to see how the infield adjustments pan out. We still need to see how the roster balances out. But these two moments together tell me this front office isn't asleep. They're aware, they're intentional, and they're not just reacting blindly to outside noise. As a fan, that gives me cautious optimism. Now I want to hear from you. Did the jersey mistake bother you as much as it did me? And if you saw that Abreu for body proposal, what was your first reaction? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments. This channel, Red Sox Today, is brand new. We're trying to build something real here, real conversations for real fans. We're pushing toward our first 1,000 subscribers, and if you're a Sox fan who appreciates honest opinions and not sugar-coated takes, subscribe and be part of this from the beginning. We're just getting started. And this season, it feels like it's going to say a lot about who this team really is.